Good evening and welcome to the Science Department's presentation. I'm Mr. Adama.
I'm Mrs. Tusink.
And I'm Mr. Hookwater.
And we want to welcome you here, and we're going to do a variety of things. And one of the things we're going to do is we're going to play some trivia. So I hope you can remember some of the middle school knowledge you have learned. Question number 1. An educated guess you make before conducting an experiment is called a theory, a hypothesis, a conclusion, or the money idea. Make your selections now. And the answer is a hypothesis. All right, I'm going to talk to you today about some of the academic goals of this science department. 1, we want to teach you a lot of information. We want you to learn about these science subjects. We want you to be prepared for college, and we want you to do well on tests that are coming up, like the SAT and the ACT. Secondly, we want you to develop skills, how to measure and how to analyze and how to work with your hands on hands-on activities. So we incorporate a lot of that into our classrooms. Third, we want you to be able to design and conduct experiments and then take that data and present it to your fellow classmates. Fourth, we want you to be able to work with other people solving projects. And fifth, we want you to be able to use technology to enhance your learning and to be able to create media. Here are some students reflecting back on some of the activities that they have enjoyed in their science classes.
Probably creating the simple machines because we got some group mates that we could work with. We had to complete a task, but we were allowed to be creative and we could just do whatever we wanted that still completed the task.
One thing I really enjoyed in biology was the fake dissection. It was something interesting that I've never done before, and it's for people who like to get their hands dirty.
I really liked how within all of our classes we got to touch on a variety of topics, but at the same time we got to see how they all connected together.
All right, now it's time for trivia question number 2. The second planet from the sun is A, Mercury, B, Earth, C, Mars, D, Venus, or E, the Moon. Make your selections now. And the answer is D, Venus. Congratulations, future astronomers. Now I will turn it over to Mrs. Tusink.
So another goal of the science department is really to instill a sense of awe and wonder in students. And so whether we're studying DNA or chemical reactions, visiting a local farm, or working in the stream, we just really want students to be able to experience God's world. We stop, praise Him for it, and help students to develop their response to God after learning these things. Here is an example of some student work. And this is a project that a student did where they got to go outside and observe nature. And these are some of the things he wrote in his reflection. I really enjoyed listening and observing nature. The promise of spring after a crazy winter was reassuring, and the growth of the leaves were stunning. I liked being able to go out and take pictures and just be more aware of the beautiful things that were around me. And then the next slide, a student will share his response to this project.
I really enjoyed going out in nature, just seeing God's creation, and I just liked following the animals around, following their tracks, and it was a good time.
Absolutely. This is another thing that I was reflecting on, and one of the things that I was talking to my wife about and we were really reflecting on is thinking about how we were able to put together the concepts of science with God's involvement as well as biblical knowledge. And one of the things that stood out to both of us is when Mr. Adama taught our anatomy classes how he would incorporate miracles in the Bible and how he would explain the anatomy associated with some of those miracles, and that really put it in perspective.
A third goal that we have in our science department is to model and teach stewardship. God calls us to take care of the creation, and we want students to be involved in doing that kind of work. For example, this student here is pulling out garlic mustard. That's an invasive plant that grows in our area, and it was a class project to try to eliminate that plant in our area. We do quite a bit of work with Buck Creek. We're in the Buck Creek watershed, and both biology and chemistry classes are involved in doing water testing there, and we assess the health of the creek. Next week, Friday, I'm taking a class down to Wolf Lake Fish Hatchery, and we're going to pick up 200 salmon eggs. We raise those salmon in our classroom, and then we release them in Buck Creek next spring. A couple of years ago, this class was involved in a project. They designed and installed a rain garden here in our parking lot, and as a way to help Buck Creek. So you students may be, when you come here, may be involved in installing a rain garden in a couple of years.
All right, trivia question number 3. To which group of vertebrates do salamanders belong? Reptiles, birds, mammals, amphibians, fish, or superheroes? Make your selections now. And the answer is D, amphibians. Another trivia question, number 4. Most of Earth's atmosphere consists of which gas? Carbon dioxide, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, or farts? Make your selections now. And the answer is C, nitrogen, at 78%. All right, here's Ms. Tusink to talk to us about our biology and science curriculum.
So as a student here at Calvin, you will start with physical science and then move on to take biology or advanced biology, and then chemistry or advanced chemistry. We also offer a number of electives. We have AP Physics, Anatomy and Physiology, Environmental Science, and Engineering 1 and Engineering 2.
I felt so prepared for college sciences. Not only in the material that I learned in high school, but also just how to study science and good study habits. I think we're really cultivated here at high school. So far in my college experience, which has only been a half semester, I've basically just been going through review of my classes, which has allowed me to go into deeper depth in the context just because I already have that foundational knowledge.
And time for our last couple of trivia questions. Number 5, which scientist gave us the 3 laws of motion? Einstein, Rutherford, Mendeleev, Newton, or Mr. Adama? The answer is Isaac Newton, letter D. And our last trivia question of the night. The change in velocity for a moving object is called acceleration, friction, speed, force, or found by dividing pi by the square root of a negative integer related to an imaginary number that can be factored by 5 as a subprimary quotient of the n times. Make your selections now. The answer is A, acceleration. Thank you for playing tonight. Thank you for coming tonight. We hope you have a great night.